Please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my latest video has come. And to learn more and to find a video relevant to you, please do check out my videos list.
Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. Today's topic is about our ability to be able to handle tensions, to be able to handle anxieties, frustrations, depression, breakdown and so on. However, firstly it is important to understand why do we face certain tensions, certain anxieties, certain frustrations and certain obstacles and hindrances because of which these tensions come, and what is the larger meaning, which is the deep context about these tensions, these challenges, these issues, and thus overall our mind getting afflicted with these challenges and then pulling us down. So firstly, understanding the context of the astrological placements is important. Not jump to astrological placements alone, and hence I usually spend a first few minutes to put the foundation to understand the context very well, because if you don't understand the context, then the placements will not give you too much meaning, a deeper understanding. If you want to understand a deeper or have a deeper understanding of placements, you need to understand the context. In the context, I talk about the characteristics of the planet, I talk about how the planet may behave in a certain manner before I get into the astrological reasons. And it is not only about the planets and the astrological placements, it is also about how the zodiac looks at life, how the zodiac looks at success, failures, how the zodiac looks at thinking, emotions, our wisdom. So it's important to set the context. So in every video I spend about 2 to 3 minutes to set the context. So my humble request to you is, don't avoid the context that I lay in the first 2-3 minutes, because that gives you more deeper meaning, a deeper understanding of the astrological placements. If you want to jump to directly the placements, for example, if I'm doing Saturn in the 12 houses, then the first 2 or 3 minutes I will give you the context of how Saturn behaves, what the characteristics of Saturn are. But I also give timestamps. So if I give you Saturn in the 9th house and on the timestamps you click directly there and go there, you will obviously get some results of Saturn in the 9th house. However, if you don't understand the context, then the deeper understanding of Saturn's various placements will evade you. So my humble request to you is, the first 2-3 minutes of any of my videos or most of my videos are very important, where I lay the context. Please go through that before you jump to astrological placements. So the context for today's video is, how does the mind get afflicted through tensions, through frustrations, through challenges. Firstly, what is the mind? The mind is represented by the moon, but the moon also represents the heart. So in some manner the heart and the mind are connected. So if the heart is unhappy, the mind cannot be vibrant, the mind can't be bright, because your heart is unhappy. So if you are sad, you can't really feel upbeat. So there is a strong connection between your mind and the moon and the heart, and hence moon rules both the manas and the hridaya, which means the mind and the heart. So moon becomes very important in our astrological placements, in the zodiac, in the horoscope also, because the karaka of mind and heart is moon, though the fourth lord, which also represent these, can be different for different ascendants, but the karaka definitely means a lot. And moon being the mind, the manas, we also know that various shlokas tell us that the soul goes where the mind goes. Soul follows the mind, which means soul is the sun and sun follows the moon, and hence it's important. The moon's placement in your horoscope is critical for you to understand why you go through certain tensions, why you go through certain challenges, mind challenges or frustrations or anxieties or fears, and then you may also succumb to them. You may get into depression, you may also have breakdowns, or you may have a long bout of anxieties, long bout of sorrows, you may have a long bout of being in this frustrated state of mind for a long time. So it is critical to understand the moon's placement in your horoscope. So firstly, you need to have a healthy moon, both in placements and in your demeanor. So if the zodiac has given you a strong moon's placement where moon is in either the Cancer sign, moon is in the Taurus sign where it is exalted, or moon is even in the Libra sign, even though it is in the sign of Venus, but relationships very, very important, because moon also plays a part, the heart also plays a part in relationship. Then too, moon can be strong. Moon is strong in Leo, moon is strong in Sagittarius, moon does okay to good in Pisces as well. However, if moon is placed in any of the other or negative signs related to the moon's placement, or more detrimental signs or inimical signs, for example, moon goes into Virgo, moon goes into Scorpio where it gets debilitated, or moon goes either in Capricorn, or moon even if it goes into Aries, though Aries is a more friendly sign, then even then there will be certain challenges. The frustration, the fears may also go up because of moon's placement in certain signs. So moon's placement in the horoscope is very, very important. So if moon has been given has been placed in a strong sign and a strong house, for example, moon is in Taurus and in the 4th house. 4th house is the natural house for moon, and it is in Taurus, which means moon is in exaltation sign. So what more do you want if moon is so strongly placed in your horoscope? So moon's placement in a sign and a house are critical to how strong the moon is placed in your horoscope and what is its dignity. However, any relation that it establishes either through conjunction with any of the malefic planets, either with a Ketu or a Saturn or a Rahu, or even with the Mars, those challenges will come upon for the mind, will come up on for the emotions, and so the tensions, the challenges, the frustrations, the anxieties may also follow. So any relationship that moon is establishing in your horoscope with any malefic planet, especially in a malefic sign as well and a tougher house also. For example, moon going into the Scorpio sign and placed with Rahu and under the aspect, say for example, of a Saturn, then there will be larger challenges, because two malefics are aspecting or involved with moon, and moon is in a debilitation sign and in the 8th house. So extremely challenging placement for the moon. So here the mind can go through frustrations, anxieties, issues, obstacles, and may go through a lot of fears, unfounded fears also. So one has to be wary of how moon's placement is in the horoscope, and if you just can't escape that. If moon goes into a very tough placement in a tough sign under the aspect of malefic, there is no saving the moon. You will go through the frustration, you will go through those anxieties, whichever walk of life these may come from. These may come from career, these may come from relationship, these may come from business, these may come from friendships, these may come from the general situation in society, and these may also come from some sudden good news or bad news which comes upon to you. Even if it may not directly be linked to you very, very strongly, yet our hearts may skip a beat. So it's important to understand how your moon's placement in the horoscope is, and because the moon is both the mind and the heart, if moon is in a tough placement, in a tough conjunction under the aspect of malefics, definitely you will go through ups and downs. The other thing is your demeanor, how you handle yourself. So sometimes when we are told that we have not a good digestive system, for example, and if you have gone through some challenges with our digestive organs, then the doctor tells us, you should eat this, you should not eat that, and so we are really careful of what we eat, what we don't eat. For example, if the doctor tells you that you are lactose sensitive, then that means that maybe milk products don't suit you. Then you avoid milk products, or you try to limit the amount of milk products that you take. Similar is the situation with your moon's placement. If your moon's placement is not very, very strong, then the demeanor of how you handle life, how you handle issues, how you handle challenges, how you handle pressures become very, very important, because you can strengthen or weaken your moon because of your demeanor, because of your attitude, how you carry yourself. And that's why astrology has been given to us, the astrological science has been given to us, so that we understand our placements better and we take some action around them. We take some action to prevent certain unfortunate events coming our way. We take some actions when we are told that we may go through certain troubles, obstacles, hindrances, and we also take actions to strengthen our positions, strengthen our strengths further. So if our horoscopes show us that our placements, especially here we are talking about the mind and the heart planet moon is in a tough placement, then we should improve our demeanor, how we handle. First step to that is to understand and accept that our moon is in a challenging placement. We will go through fears, we will go through frustration, we will go through anxieties and submission to that placement, rather than saying no, this cannot happen, why, and trying to find reasons why your moon is strong. I find sometimes when I tell some of my clients that your moon is not very strong or any planet is not strong, then they will try to give me astrological reasons. No, but this is that aspect, but it is placed in this nakshatra, it cannot be. So the acceptance that a planetary placement is not very good sometimes is not there. So the first step towards correction is acceptance. Accept, even if you don't go to an astrologer, but if you have understood astrology, you will understand how your planetary placements are, what the dignity of the planet is. So just look at the Ashtakvarga points, for example. Though there is limited meaning in it, but it will, in overall, if you are able to see 3 or 4 placements together, 3 or 4 attributes together, moon's placement, the sign moon is placed in, what conjunction it is in, what yogas or doshas it is in, plus the Ashtakvarga points, if you look at overall holistically, then you will be able to arrive at a conclusion whether moon is in good dignity or not, or any planet is in good dignity or not. So if you find through all these speaking points that your planet is in a tough spot, your moon is in a tough spot, accept, yes, I will go through these fears, I will go through these anxieties, but I will fight, I will not give in. So if you are generally facing tensions, try and see why you face certain tensions. We face tensions, we face anxieties, we face frustrations because of 2 things. One, acceptance or expectance, rather than acceptance, expectations from certain areas of our life, from certain people, from our careers, and when those expectations are not met, they are not fulfilled, or they are taking long time to come through, then we are sad about it, we are frustrated, we are anxious, and we are fearful that we may not get a rightful place, we may not get a right appreciation, we may not get the right credit, and so we go through all these challenges where we have expectations and those expectations are not fulfilled. The other thing is that even if we have less expectations, however, there may be a challenge in how we see life from a materialistic point of view. We are not looking at our life from a higher values that we have, higher principles that we have, what the zodiac is telling us. So when the zodiac is not being heard, so sometimes the zodiac gives us these challenges, these frustrations, these roadblocks, because we have not been able to understand the true purpose of our life, the true karma that we need to do. And so it is the zodiac's way of telling you that, if I'm giving you these anxieties, these frustrations, maybe because your path is different. You need to channelize your energy in a different manner. If you're not able to channelize your energies in a different manner and you're not able to do it more fruitfully, then obviously you will have a challenge. It is like your teacher or your master or somebody who is an authority figure over you, pulling you down for not being able to work in a certain direction or not working hard enough, and saying, you need to pull up your socks. So sometimes these tensions, these anxieties, these frustrations are given to us through certain situations in life as a manner of the zodiac telling us that pull up your socks, buck up. If you are not positioned towards your purpose of life, your karma in life, then I will try to give you a wake up call and will try to put you out of your slumber and shake you out of your slumber. So many of these challenges and issues that also come to us from time to time are also to shake us up that you are not doing your karma, you are not positioned towards your purpose of life, you are not looking at life holistically and what the true soul represents. You are moving too materialistically, and hence you are not being able to see the larger picture, you are not able to see purpose of your life. You are living life day to day, you are living life materialistically. And hence if you see, who are the people who suffer heart attacks and collapse more often? These are people who expected certain results from their company, or they have losses in share market, or the company suddenly collapses, some or the other. Generally the rich people, you will find that sudden heart failures, heart attacks happen to them, and these people face more hypertension, blood pressure, anxieties, depression. The people who are more poorer, they may go through more sad events, but they are more related to their relationship. Something happens to a mother, something happens to a son, something happens to a spouse, then they feel sad. But the poor people also have an easier outlet. They cry out, they put their shoulder on somebody's, they head on somebody's shoulders, or they reach out to people because they are not too snobbish, they are not too arrogant, they are not too pompous to say that we are going through a troubled time. But sometimes the richer people or the so-called powerful people don't reach out for help, and so they sometimes wallow in their own self-pity, they wallow in their own frustration, they wallow in their own losses. So it's important to be able to showcase your emotions, and if you don't allow that outlet to the moon to be able to showcase the emotions, to demonstrate the emotion, then you're weakening the moon. If your moon is very weak, you will anyways feel very emotional, maybe over emotional about something. However, if you bottle your moon too much up, you bottle your mind and your heart too much up, then you will succumb to these challenges, these issues, these frustrations, because you are weakening the moon. So accept and understand that you have this challenge or you have this issue, and be emotional about it. There's no point in trying to bottle up your emotions. Let your emotions flow freely, but ensure that they don't go out of bounds, because then you will unnecessarily get into these these long bouts of self-pity. So some emotions are important that you need to showcase, reach out to people and seek help, but also do a lot of self-talk, that of course there is a challenge, but I will face it and I will come out of it, as I've come out of it many times before. So a lot of self-talk, a positive self-talk is also important. And when you understand the planetary placement, say for example Rahu with moon. So what does Rahu with moon do? Moon is your emotions, moon is also your mental capacity. So Rahu will give you an explosion of emotions. So sometimes it may make you overreact and make you over anxious also about certain things. So whatever emotion you are going through, Rahu will increase it 10 times. Moon with Mercury, then you will overanalyze the situation. You will think so much about it that you will collapse. So especially if there is a malefic angle to it, either through aspect or with a conjunction. If moon is placed with Saturn, it is the wish dosha definitely. But what happens is their ability to think fast, think on your feet is also lost, even when Saturn aspects moon. And so sometimes somebody tells you something and you're not able to react on the spot. Later on you think and then you realize, oh, this person said this and I was not able to react also. How dare he say this thing to me? And then you're thinking and waiting for an opportunity to strike back. And so till that time, when you get an opportunity or you're able to showcase your emotions or demonstrate them, you're wallowing in that self-pity, you're wallowing in all the wish or the poison that is created. If moon is placed with sun, especially if it's combusted or any other malefic also joins, then what happens is sometimes you may be too arrogant and you are expecting all sorts of focus on you, and you want everybody to respect you, you want all sorts of command and you demand attention of people. But when that importance doesn't come to you, when people don't put you on the pedestal, then you feel down, you feel lost, you feel that people have not respected me, and so you may get into bouts of self-pity or depression or feeling insulted, and then you want to give back. If moon and Mars are together, sometimes you can't keep control of your emotions. You may overreact, you may be over-aggressive, and hence you may fall into trouble in a lot of instances where suddenly you lose your temperament, you lose your cool, you get into an argument, you get into a fight, you say something, and then it's very difficult for you to bring the relationship back or salvage the situation. So most of the placements with the moon, whichever planet it is, it will add a flavor to the moon. So one needs to be careful how your moon is placed. The other thing is, even with the other mind planets, for example Mercury, Moon and Jupiter are the mind planets. They influence the way we think. So Mercury gives us the ability to analyze and to look at things logically, but if it's overly influencing the moon, then over analysis will give us a paralysis, and because of the over analysis, too much thinking, we are not able to take decisions and we get frustrated. If Jupiter is placed with Moon, it is a good Gajkesari strong yoga. However, if any malefic gets associated with the Gajkesari yoga, then what happens is we are too wise to take a decision or to take a stand. So wisdom tells us, no, it's not good to fight, it's not good to pick on such people, they are powerful people, and then our wisdom allows us not to be tactful, or disallows us to be tactful, disallows us to get back, and hence so many times we lose opportunities where we need to strike, we need to hit back, or we need to take important decisions because we are too wise to get into those challenges and those issues. And hence it's important that whenever we look at how Moon's placement is, even when it seems to be in a good conjunction, good yoga, but do see if there is any way a malefic is getting associated with the Moon or getting associated with a house or with an inimical sign. The other thing is, for example, if Mercury gets associated with Rahu. Mercury is a planet of analysis, and if Moon is weak and Mercury is powerful but placed with Rahu or under the aspect of Rahu, then what happens is almost everything that you see in life is all from a practical angle. You are not able to take more softer emotional decisions easier. The practical angle takes over and we lose the relationship bit, and hence many times the relations put us down, the relationships will not support us, and because of this happens, because of Mercury playing the upper hand and Moon relegated to the second spot, and thus emotions are not something that come to the fore when decisions are made, but logic, over analysis, practicality takes over. So the softer part, the emotional part, the relationship suffers, and then we find someday that we are lost, we don't have the emotional wherewithal, we don't have the emotional strength, we don't have the people who will give us the emotional strength. All that we left us with, all our analysis that we have done of what is more fruitful for me, what is less fruitful, what is a more practical decision for me. Our souls are lost because we allow our emotions to be lost as well. So it's very, very important to look into these dimensions. Look into the dimensions of the conjunction. Look into the dimension of the aspect. Look into the dimension of a yoga or a dosha. Look into the dimension of where Moon is placed as well. And where Jupiter gets strongly afflicted, and if Jupiter is strongly afflicted and Moon is weak, then what happens is these anxieties, these frustrations that we have is also because we are not able to see, to balance the life from what we want and what our soul's purpose is. Balancing that is very, very important. Leading a good material life, having goodies in life is not bad. However, to either chase that too much of materialism or being too wise and getting into this sainthood mindset, it doesn't help us. So we need to have good overall placements of the Moon and Moon's yogas and doshas not being too strong. However, it's also important that Mercury gives us enough bit of analysis rather than over analysis or too weak an analysis where we are not able to take logical decisions. Similarly, the Jupiter, the planetary placements of Jupiter or the strengths of Jupiter should not be either too weak or too combusted or too much eclipsed or too weak or too much debilitated in whatever state Jupiter is, either in debilitation or in combustion. Over combusted Jupiter or over weak Jupiter will not allow us to take the wise decisions. So sometimes even those things which are a small failure will not allow us to think wisely that okay, this is a small failure, I can get out of it. We may overthink about that. We may get into this mold of self-pity, of being over-emotional and then losing of it. So always remember that to be ability to showcase your emotions, balance your emotions, know how much to showcase your emotions, how much to get angry and how much not to get angry, how much to allow your heart to be sad but then bounce back from that sadness. Don't always wallow in that self-pity. And if you're going through continuous bouts of depression, anxieties, frustration, not only look into your Moon's placement but also look at your mind, how you think and how you counter the placement, astrological placement. So meditating, being happy and submitting to the will of the Lord is very, very important. just tell yourself self-talk, or a lot of positive self-talk, saying that I will bounce back from this position. This is not something which will take me down. I understand and accept that I am going through some emotional challenges right now, but I'll bounce back. So having this positive self-talk is very, very important. Understanding moon's placement is very, very important, but the overall attitude and demeanor that you have is very, very important. So look into your astrological placements of where your moon is, how strong your Mercury and Jupiter are there any afflictions of any of these, especially the moon, and have the ability to be able to control your emotions well. But very, very important, understand the purpose of the soul. When your soul is happy, your mind will also be happy, and vice versa. Indulge in those actions which give you more happiness. Don't always chase materialism. Don't lose your way, because if you lose your way, then the zodiac will have an opportunity and will take their opportunity to strike at you and to remind you that you have lost your purpose. You are not moving in the direction of what your goal in life is, your purpose of life is. Understand your Bhrigu Bindu well, understand your Lagna and the Lagna Lord's placement well, understand how they are forming a relationship with the moon, and understand your Nakshatra very, very well, because your Nakshatra which rules your life is the one in which moon is placed, and the Nakshatra Lord's Dasha is also very, very important, because you are born in that Dasha also. So the Antardasha of moon is also important. The waning and the waxing phases of the moon are also important, but the most important is, apart from your planetary placements, conjunctions, aspects and others, how you control your mind, how much of emotions you allow, how much of tensions, hypertensions, anxieties you allow the mind to go through. So if there is no acceptance, you are more positive and you submit to the will of the Lord, then it is easier to handle pressure, it is easier to handle those hypertension, it is easier to handle these situations. So have the self-talk that from any position you will bounce back, and focus on your karma. Try to do more good for others. Don't think too much of materialism and what did your spouse say, what did the children say, what did the boss say. Everybody has their own anxieties, everybody is going through their own challenges. Don't overkill yourself because of what somebody said or because of not getting a certain result. This is a passing phase, and that's why moon is one of the fastest traveler through the zodiac. So moon is trying to tell you that just like I travel fastest through the zodiac, you also move faster through the bad phases of your emotions. Don't value too much in pity, don't value too much in losses, don't value in being sad for a long period of time. Have a more control of yourself, be more positive, understand your placement, and work on positivity and work on your karma and work on your purpose of life. Then the zodiac will also support you and also will favor you. So in short, all the tension, hypertensions, frustrations are more related to planetary placement of the moon, plus you missing your goal, you're missing your purpose, you're not moving towards your dharma, you're not moving towards your karma, and so zodiac giving you signs and hints. Please get your course corrected, and also how your attitude, your demeanor is. If you are able to control these three, understand these three well, then you will face or go through lesser tension, lesser problems, lesser challenges, and you will be a more peaceful person, you will be a more happy person. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me, the links given below. Till some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.